Yesterday, they blew up another drug boat. They've been blowing up drug boats for a bit, and it's still going on, right? They've been popping them off for a while. And so there was a report that Pete Hegseth, this is the Department of Defense or War, the guy that's in charge, they bombed them once, and he said double tap that shit because there's still some survivors. We're going to kill every single one of them. And so apparently there are people on Twitter that are mad about this. Won't somebody think of the innocent drug dealers in Venezuela? Yep, civilian boats, by the way, no proof of drugs, for sure, guys, because, I mean, they're going to have, see, like the drug boats have the words drugs on the side of them.
We're learning new details about one of those deadly U.S. strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean. Sources tell CNN the U.S. military... We're learning new details about one of those deadly U.S. strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean.
That's right.
Sources tell CNN the U.S. military carried out a follow-up strike on September 2nd after becoming aware of survivors in the water. The sources tell us that prior to the strike, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth had ordered the military to ensure everyone on board was killed. People briefed on the, quote, double tap strike say they're concerned that it could violate the law of armed conflict, which prohibits the execution of an enemy combatant who is taken out of the fight due to injury or surrender. Now, since September, as you're seeing on your screen here, the U.S. military has carried out at least 21 known strikes on suspected drug trafficking boats, killing at least 83 people. Officials have also acknowledged, though, not knowing the identities of everyone on board before they are struck. And this development comes as President Trump says the U.S. military will soon begin land strikes on alleged drug trafficking networks in Venezuela.
The kill cams, bro, like he's actually posting kill cams. Yeah, think of the drug dealers.
In Beth Stanner, a CNN national security analyst and former deputy director of national intelligence. Thank you for taking the time. I just want to start with getting your reaction to the reporting we have here that double tap strikes were ordered to make sure everybody on board was killed.
Right.
Well, yeah.
If this is true,
yeah,
it's really shocking.
Yeah.
You know,
it's shocking to me too, bro. We had a limp dick military for such a long time. We had a bunch of pussy boys pussyfooting around over in the Middle East, wasting our money, spending trillions of dollars to replace the Taliban with the Taliban. And that's it. And finally, we have some people that are ready to actually do something. Thank God. Shut down CNN. Yeah, exactly. Do you think it's okay to execute? Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
No,
I'm happy. I vote for this. Thank God. I've been waiting on this for a while.
Thinking about
Based
this
on the word of who? The military. The best word I got. But, and by the way, do you really think this is a fishing? You really think these are all fishing boats? You think it was a fishing submarine? What are you thinking, man? What are you really putting yourself in that situation where you believe that shit? Absolutely fucking not. We just skip voting this? I did, because I didn't think it was going to happen. Yeah, this is the shit I would, like, I'll tell you this. Whoever is going to do this is the guy I'm going to vote for. Because this guy is keeping me safe. Everybody else is fucking around.
Context of Ukraine. And right now, Russian soldiers are being accused of war crimes, and their cases...
And you know what's going to happen? Nothing. Because the entire idea of a war crime is a joke. It's a joke that the big countries put together so they can enforce it on smaller countries. But you think that you think like, bro, we could do anything that we wanted. It wouldn't fucking matter. Same with China, same with Russia. You think Putin is going to ever go to jail? You think somebody from Russia is ever going to go to jail after the fucking Ukraine war is over? Not a fucking thing is going to happen. The war crimes are not for America. They're for Uganda. They're for Madagascar. They're for Bangladesh. That's the way it is. I'm shocked. The Hague has no jurisdiction in America? They don't have any jurisdiction in a place that, like, every law is only as strong as its enforcement mechanism. And if they can't tell you what to do, then they don't fucking matter. That's the way it is.
the International Court of Justice because they're killing prisoners, Ukrainian armed combatants who are prisoners.
Nothing's ever gonna happen.
And they're killing them instead of, you know, keeping them as prisoners. So, I mean, here we have an example of an actual war and war crimes accusation. So here...
This is the mind of a Karen is just being shattered. It's just being shattered. They can't even imagine this.
What does this do, you know, in terms of U.S. moral authority?
Putin's actual war criminal has that?
There's reporting this week of Israel of IDF soldiers killing Palestinian prisoners, Hamas prisoners.
I believe it.
How can we go to Israel and say, like, you shouldn't have done that? Or
how could we have done that before this? You really think this is the first bad thing the United States has ever done? Even if this is true, that we blew up a boat, there was a bunch of random ass people. Do you really think that this is the first time this has happened? It's crazy. And also, by the way, they've been doing this for years. They've been doing this for years. Do you think Israel, like, why is it that, like, I mean, if they were doing this in the past and we couldn't get them to stop doing the torturing and the killing of the prisoners, what makes you think that we can do it now? Like, it's the entire premise of this is ridiculous.
Russia.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't wait till you're banned.
This arena.
People are mad. Like, so you're mad that I'm saying this? Yeah, Crimes War is not good, guys. The logic is too simplistic. Crimes War is not the good guy. You're wrong on this. You're saying because it happens often, we should just let it keep happening? No. I mean, this is my outlook on it, right? And so anyway, many people are charged from Germany. People from the U.S. charged from Vietnam, Afghanistan. We're going to You really think, like, here, I'm going to ask you something. I'm going to pull you up. Do you think anybody's realistically going to get in trouble for this? Do you really think Pete Hegseth or Donald Trump are going to actually, like, suffer any consequences from this? I want you to be honest with me right now. Tell me whether that's going to happen or not. Go ahead. Let me know. And also, Germany lost the war. That's why they got charged with war crimes. So you think the answer is yes? All right. Keep the name in mind. Keep the name in mind. Come back to me in 5 years. Let's see how it goes. Nothing's going to happen. You out of your mind. You're delusional. Absolutely. So yeah, what if another country comes to international waters and bombs a boat full of civilians and say that it was a drug dealers? Don't get me wrong. I think drug dealers need to die, but I think we need to be sure. Well, maybe the military was sure. And also, like, by the way, if they bomb our guys, then we can go bomb their country because we have a bigger military. Like, we don't pay $1 trillion a fucking year to be limp-dicked around by some random country bombing our fucking people. Like, this isn't fair. Like, you might be thinking that this is a fair, like, this is not a Reddit argument. This is we have a much bigger stick than you do, and you better not be sending any fucking drugs to our country. And it's that fucking simple. And whoever is going to operate under that basic premise is my guy. That's my guy right there. None of this bullshit. The Israeli think they bomb random boats? Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about Venezuela on a number of fronts. Obviously, there are these efforts that the administration says are going on.
What's this here? It's to protect your soldiers from not getting executed for exchanges. Your view is simplistic. The people kill American soldiers anyway. You really think that you're going to negotiate with terrorists? You really think that they're going to operate under the Geneva Convention? What are you, fucking retarded? Absolutely not. ISIS does execution videos where they cut people's heads off on a video. You think they give a fuck about war crimes? You're out of your mind.
After drug trafficking boats, there is the not so subtle pushes against Nicolas Maduro that President Trump has been leading. But the president also says that land action would now be part of the administration's effort to deter Venezuelan drug traffickers. I just wonder what you think about that threshold being crossed here.
It's a big threshold,
Yeah.
right? I mean, right now we're in international waters, but when you're talking about strikes in a sovereign country,
that's right,
against, you know, I mean, these are drug traffickers, bad people.
So then just kill them. That's the end of the conversation to me. Why would there be anything more than that? If you think that they're drug traffickers, why are they alive? But what a ridiculous, like, what the fuck are we doing? This type of language and this type of behavior is the reason why we spent 20 years in the Middle East. This is the reason.
But it is still in another country. And so there usually has to be a justification. And there is a process for that.
Well, you just gave the justification. They're drug traffickers. Where do you think they're going?
Get authorization for use of military force from Congress that helps on that. But there's an entire international legal system too. And that's what people
Why should we follow if the international legal system is not allowing us to protect our country quickly and in real time from immediate danger, then what use is that system? Why would we follow a system that puts American citizens at risk? Like, whose side are you on here? That's crazy.
Worried about, kind of in this context of the video that the Democratic senators put out recently about defying illegal orders.
Right.
And the question about whether people who are conducting them could be subject to, being prosecuted.
Yeah.
So I think that there.
Let me know whenever they prosecute the people in Russia and Israel for doing the same things that you said were war crimes. Yeah, let me know whenever that happens. Surely that's going to happen.
There's a lot involved here. I do wonder, though, whether...
What's your stance on people forced to work for the drug cartels even when they have no choice? Kill them anyway? Yeah. Without a second of hesitation. Absolutely. It's a sad situation, but the only thing that would be sadder would be allowing your emotions to dictate your behavior and putting further American citizens' lives at risk. Yeah, absolutely. Just shoot them. Like, it's still, the thing is that it doesn't matter why they're there. Like, does it feel good to do that? Does it sound good to do that? No, but it's the right thing to do. Yeah, it's a gotcha question. Well, it's actually not. It's only a gotcha question to the emotionally unstable and the mentally ill. The reality is that the answer to it is very simple. This person is coming into your country. They're trying to kill your people. So you should kill them. That's the end of the conversation. Everything else is emotional manipulation. Bro, you're so dumb. Everybody thinks this is dumb, but not everybody. But like that's really what it is. Most people mentally ill. So you're saying it's okay to attack the source of the problem, which is okay in Venezuela, as it's an act to protect Americans in America? Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Yeah, it's kill or be killed. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, would you want to have, like, it's a pretty simple question, right? Would you want to spare the life of one drug trafficker to put 100 lives at risk that are Americans? Well, like, this is a trolley problem to me. It's the easiest decision I've ever made in my life. Should we kill the American drug dealers? Some of them, yeah. Yes, good idea. Go ahead. I'm not going to complain. What's wrong with that?
Whether President Trump actually will do it, or whether we're just kind of in this game of chicken. I was thinking about this because he has this quote that he said in another context about, waiting until the very last minute to make.
So, Mrs. Are you insane? Why don't you protect your waters? We're protecting our waters right now. That's exactly what we're doing. Funny you should mention that.
Decision about conducting such an activity because, in war, things change. That's the quote. And so, sometimes
that's true.
We don't really know where we're up to that line of the last minute, or whether we're still in this kind of pressure campaign trying to see if something will happen inside Venezuela, whether this kind of pressure will generate activity to oust Maduro.
Well, I was going to say, a lot of people are looking at, okay, is this all part of an encroachment effort to oust Nicolas Maduro, who President Trump has said his days are numbered? Earlier this week, the president designated Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his government allies as members of a foreign terrorist organization. I just wonder, we've got these individual sort of storylines popping up, What do you see as the bigger picture here? Is the bigger picture to try and get Maduro out of office?
I mean, I think sure. Yep. I think, Lindsey Graham has said as much, very close to the president. I think that that's where we are. But I don't think that necessarily means that he's willing to use military force directly in terms of trying to do that. Whether
well, I mean, if he doesn't want to have that happen, maybe he should have taken care of his country, right? I mean, like, if your country's got a bunch of fucking clowns leaving the country and then causing problems everywhere else in the world, like, you can't just be like, oh, wow, like, how did this happen? Like, you're going to have everybody else mad as fuck about that. Like, obviously. Like, you got people going, is Mexico next? I don't know. Like, they've got their own problems, right? So, yeah, isn't it better to parade the drug dealers instead of bombing them because eventually people lose their trust if there's no receipt? No, the people that lost the trust, you're making the fatal flaw of assuming that the people that are calling this into question are doing so in good faith. They're not. They're not doing it in good faith. They're doing it because they are adversarial to Donald Trump. They don't like him, and they would rather side with Venezuelan drug interests rather than American conservative interests. That's the reason why. So you don't ever make the mistake by engaging with people like this and thinking that this is a person who is a genuine conscientious objector. They're not. They had no problem with Obama drone striking people constantly. There was no complaining about that. Nobody from the Obama administration, really a big person, got brought up in fucking the international war crimes, fucking anything like that. Never happened. So, yeah, I just want America dead. Exactly, yeah. And so that's the perspective that you should have. So you should never... A big mistake that I think people make is that they approach people that have bad faith arguments in good faith. And approaching a person with bad faith arguments that actually doesn't care about the outcome, they're just trying to present an argument that is oppositional to yours. You're losing by engaging.
Snatch him or to kill him. So, again, I think we're going to be in this ratcheting up. And maybe it will entail strikes inside of Venezuela against drug facilities, but that'll be part of a process, again, to see if something will move internally. Happens. I think that's the goal.
Ideally.
Yeah. Beth Sanner, always appreciate your insight, especially on a story like this. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Omar.
Of course.
US President Donald Trump appears to be preparing for a new phase of military action against Venezuela that includes taking action on land.
In recent weeks, you've been working to deter Venezuelan drug traffickers, of which there are many. Of course, there aren't too many coming in by sea anymore. People aren't wanting to be delivering by sea.
I wonder
and
why.
We'll be starting to stop them by land also. The land is easier, but that's going to start very soon.
Well, that announcement happened just hours after the US sent more
military
firepower to the region. And Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth paid a visit to the United States' largest aircraft carrier, which was recently moved to Latin America.
Oh. There we go.
Patrol, or whether it's in our nation's hemisphere, out at sea, interdicting cartels, defending the American people, we are grateful for you.
Maduro's message at a military parade on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
For the last 17 weeks, foreign imperialist forces have been continuously threatening to alter the peace in the Caribbean, in South America, and in Venezuela, under false pretenses and extravagant arguments that no one believes.
Sure, man.
Stefano Pozzebon is joining me now live. So, Stefano, this announcement from Trump appears that he's made a decision on his next plan of action. What's the reaction been like from Venezuela to this?
Yeah, well, I think that Nicolas Maduro's words yesterday, as he was commemorating a failed coup from his predecessor, the late President Hugo Chavez. But again, it was just an occasion for him to portray himself in a position of strength. It's not a coincidence that he was speaking to armed forces, members of the armed military, and especially wearing a green uniform. Well, we've been here before. We've been here for the last 17 weeks. I think that there is inside Venezuela a sense of fatigue around all of these military build-up from the United States that never arrives.
Well, everybody fucking hates this guy over in Venezuela. That's why there's a bunch of people that are political refugees from the country. Everybody hates this. They think he's a piece of shit. So, like, it's not even a question. He's got a sword out? Yeah, of course, right? These fisher boats keep getting blown up. Why do fisher boats keep showing up? I wonder why.
To the actual critical point, Donald Trump might say that conducting operations on the land, which we understand, we intend to believe that that would mean inside Venezuelan territory. Well, Donald Trump might say that that would be easier. It would be, frankly, much more difficult in terms of coming up with a response to how Maduro would retaliate with that.
Venezuelans support Trump, want to destroy Maduro? Yeah, I mean, Venezuela used to be an incredibly wealthy, very, like, advanced, powerful country. And now it's turned into a third world shithole that's being controlled, apparently, by this clown. It's hard to know whether this guy is, like, controlled by the cartels or not. I don't know. A lot of people think he is. I don't know that. But it sure seems like it's a shithole regardless, huh? So is America? You think America is a shithole in the same way that Venezuela is? Get the fuck out of here.
And this is a game of carrots and sticks that we've been seeing here for the last 4 months. And I think that Maduro and many other people here in Venezuela are still on the edge. And there is a sense of fatigue around that edge because of these geopolitical tensions. We shall see eventually if Donald Trump decides to move forward. A week ago, he was saying that he was open to discussing in person with Nicolas Maduro.
He's going to be open to discussing it till he blows up his house. That's what I think is going to happen. I think he's going to say, you know what, everything was fine, everything was okay, and then, one day, that's going to be it.
Hearing rumors that there may have already been a call. We don't understand that that is the case, by the way, Christina. We understand that the call between Nicolas Maduro and Donald Trump is yet to happen, if indeed it will eventually happen. But at the same time, Donald Trump once again opening the door to a possible military action inside Venezuela that certainly bode well for the government here.
Yeah, that call been talked about for some time. We'll wait to see if it materializes. Stefano, appreciate it.
Yeah, it is 100% going to happen, right? And what is this here? For sake of argument, Maduro and Chavez fault, not all worldwide sanctions in the West. Should USA invade Venezuela to install a puppet government? So if they have a government, it's actually pretty simple. Like, if we have a guy that's over there that is controlled, they think he's controlled by the cartels, or he is basically allowing what is effectively bioweapons to be sent over to your country, like, I feel like that's a pretty simple answer. The answer is yes. Yeah, just get rid of them. Like, at the end of the day, like, the American government, their obligation is to protect America. And that is a foreign and domestic obligation. Anybody else here in America, like, y'all, do we spend $1 trillion a fucking year? We spend $1 trillion a year to get fucked around. Absolutely not. Pretty sure Saudi decided that, not the U.S. Maybe, right? But he who has a bigger stick is the one that decides. That's right. Yeah, next time, ask Nigeria if it's okay to bomb Iran. Yeah, exactly. Kay Conan, my government's never wrong. I don't think that they're wrong with this, and I think that Venezuela probably isn't. I think that really, if every country in South America was like El Salvador, number one, South America would be better off. Number two, America, the United States of America would be better off. Everybody would be better off. Like, that's it. We have the cards. You don't have the cards. Yeah, exactly. The bigger stick, that's democracy for you. Well, democracy, sometimes, why do you have democracy? Think about it like that, right? So the reason why you have democracy is because somebody with a stick says, no, you can't just put the guy that you want in charge. You have to vote. A stick decides everything. It just depends on your perspective. Honestly, I think this is something that's really a long time coming. This will change nothing. You must control the drugs and the money. No, not really. Like, the problem, so this is really, I think, the solution, is you have to make sure that these countries have people that will use the military to self-regulate themselves. Because if they're not self-regulating and they're having all this crazy shit happen over there and nobody's being held accountable, then you're going to have some serious, oh, here we go. Posters of Maduro being torn down in Venezuela. This is from last year. This was last year. They don't even like this guy. Nobody likes this asshole. He a retard. Yeah, there it is. Not a bigger stick whenever we won the revolution. Sometimes truth and fitting what you believe in is enough. Well, we did have the bigger stick. You think Britain, like, you think if they could have militarily overpowered America and it was worth it for them, you think they wouldn't have done that? Nah, they would have done that, and we'd be learning right now that George Washington was a terrorist. Like, I don't even know what you're thinking, man. Like, it's crazy how deranged some people are, delusional they are. Yeah, they tried. They sent a bunch of fucking people over here, and they tried to stop it from happening. Venezuela in general is preparing the defense model of a beach stop if necessary, and amphibious animation. Is this Venezuela? Uh-huh. Right, guys. Yeah. We had guerrilla warfare, and they had a gentleman's battle. That's right. Gentlemen don't win wars. The UK tried. The fucking French, they would have won. Yeah, well, I mean, the French are the OGs, right? Like, they're our original ally. Our oldest ally. Why aren't they speaking American? Well, because Trump hasn't invaded yet. That's coming. You didn't fucked over the French? I mean, I think, again, like, there's a respect that we have for France, I would say. America should. Are they discussing escape plans? They should be, I'll tell you that. They definitely should be. The war is coming. Venezuelan Supreme Commanding General. Nationwide defense. The map they're using, largely based on guerrilla and the Venezuelan state. I don't know really if this is going to go anywhere or not. But I guess we're going to find out. So we do respect France, at least in my town. According to Candace Owens, France is trying to kill her. So many brain deads in chat today. What's wrong with the U.S. opening the oil market to countries besides Russia and China who already buy Venezuelan oil at floor prices? I mean, I don't really know. I think that whenever you understand that the majority of problems that people like this have, and you look at it from the context of the only reason why they have this problem is that it's being done by a person that they disagree with, then everything else makes perfect sense.